Hello and welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. This is a reading for Aries. If Aries is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Now this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Aries, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And there is the Empress energy. Beautiful card, really a lovely way to begin any reading. So we're going to put that into some context, and we're going to use... Wow, our Dove and Serpent spread. This is a lot of major arcana right here. Wow, this is really something else. I think this is a very important message for you. I really do. And if there's anything that you need me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. I'm going to finish up with the Path of the Serpent here. Of course, there's more major arcana. A little bit of air, a little bit of water. Let's do our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. And for that, we're going to use the Waite-Smith deck. And we're just going to select a card kind of randomly or haphazardly, as the case may be. And we're going to set it aside. We'll put our frog friend right on top, our lucky frog. And hopefully at the end of the reading, that card will, tie everything together and give us the confirmation that we need. Okay? So... we've got major. We've got some water, a lot of water, and then air. Water and air. So it's major arcana, water and air. Okay. So we don't see a lot of fire. We do see some fire energy here with this major arcana, which that probably satisfies our fuel, gives us the combustion that we need, right? That flame, that fire, that passion, and heat. Let me move this serpent out of the way there. What we don't have is the earth energy, though. We don't really even have a representation of it, except maybe this Empress energy, right? This card is ruled by Venus, but this is a very powerful card for manifestation, okay? This is a card that is associated with nature, with Mother Earth, right? With the universe as a place where things happen. Right? So this, I think, is representing things happening. I think you've got a lot going on right now. I think that Spirit really does have a plan, a purpose, and a message for you. Honestly, it seems like a lot of this energy is directed toward these cups, kind of lifting you not only up out of whatever problems you're in, but pushing you forward as well. You see these major arcana cards here. They're all aiming this way, diagonally, right? So we're pushing through this water energy here. And the 7 and the 8 of cups, those are some pretty dark, dank, kind of musty water cards, right? They're not really all that lively or happy. So I think what we're doing is really, this major arcana Spirit is trying to push us up out of the swamp, but not just directly up, but also forward, right? So there's this diagonal motion to things right now in the spiritual world. And we start, of course, with the Empress, like I said, and I really feel that you are being taken care of. The universe is trying to reach out to you to nurture you and to nourish you, okay? To take care of you for something. I don't know if you've had an injury, maybe an illness, but the universe is here. The Spirit energy is here to heal you. I think this card's also representing some of your general energy and your outward expression of your Venus energy, of your kind of Mother Earth energy, toward healing others, healing the world, being kind of, being a caretaker to things, okay? And it could be a caretaker maybe to your own soul, your own spirit. It could be you're a caretaker to your pets, your plants, your people. It could be the profession that you're into. Maybe you're in a caretaker role at work, or in your professional life in some extracurricular things, community organizations, charities, maybe you volunteer, anything along those lines. But I feel like it's really, it's through your interaction with these pets, plants, people, right? The things that you love, the things that you nourish and that nourish you in turn, right? Could be your garden, right? I feel like this is the way that we're healing. This is the way that we're being pushed up and through this water energy. Because the water energy here is not, I'll be honest, it's not pleasant, right? I think maybe you feel like you're beneath the surface a little bit. Kind of this feeling like maybe we're drowning in things, in our own emotions. Maybe there's a financial thing that we're we feel like we're kind of underwater with something. Maybe with life in general, but maybe there are specific things. I feel like Spirit's trying to push you out of that. Okay? First, through the love, through the beauty, through the harmony of nature. This is literally, going out into the woods or to the beach or to the desert, whatever your favorite kind of climate is, whatever your habitat is that you thrive in. For me, I love the ocean, but I also love forests. I also love deserts. I mean, it has its own majesty and beauty to it. So this is literally the environment that is healing you. Okay, a natural environment. So this card's maybe saying, in order to get through this water energy, maybe you have to go to water, right? Maybe you need to go to a beach or to a lake, to any kind of a river or a creek, anything where there's water, like living water, right? That might be something that you find very healing. But really anywhere that you feel that connection with nature, because this card is about connections and the results of those connections, right? So when you're coming together with yourself, again, with your pets, plants, people, what results from that is the Empress card, is that beauty, that love, that joy, that affection, that pleasure, that healing, that nourishment, that nurturing energy. And that's what we need right now, okay? We only see one court card in the reading, and that's in the position of what we don't want. So I feel like this is something that you're just trying to do yourself. I don't feel like we're bringing in a lot of people with us. It could be that I should probably clarify that. This may involve other people, your loved ones. Maybe there's one particular person. Maybe it's the world as a whole, right? Your community at large. I don't feel like there is, as far as this self-healing goes, I don't feel like it's any one particular person that needs to do this with you. You know what I mean? Like it feels like it's something that you need to do on your own. Like if you're out in nature, it's kind of a solitary thing. We don't want a lot of intellectual communication. We don't want a lot of talking. If there are other people with you, it's not a lot of yammering. It's just kind of a quiet, unspoken, a subtle vibe that's permeating the room. There's not a lot of discussion, right? So that's what I mean when I say that we don't really want a lot of other people around us. That is something that you're kind of doing in a quiet way. There may be other people, but there's not a lot of that intellectual stimulation, right? It's more of a subtle energy. We do see some other air energy here that comes next at the end, but we'll get to that in a moment. I think we're just about finished talking about the Empress for now. I think the message here is pretty clear. You really have the potential to create, right? So the other thing about this Empress is that it is the artist, right? And how does the artist create art? Well, by uniting with some aspect of reality, of the universe, of the world, of their community. And like I said with the Empress, it's through the connection, through the interaction, through the experience of nature or of the different energies coming together. Then the Empress produces what it produces, right? The healing and the joy and the beauty. So it's kind of the inspiration for the artist, and I think that you're an artist in some way too. Now, I don't know if that is through the work that you do, or maybe you're a literal, visual artist, maybe you're a sculptor, painter, maybe you draw, maybe it's music, writing. But even if it's not any of those traditional kind of, art things, there is this magic that you do when you are connecting with these really nurturing, nourishing, beautiful energies around you. When you're connecting with nature or with the earth, let's say, right? And that could, yes, be your pets, your plants, or your people. Great things are produced. You're able to do tremendous things, okay? So you have a lot of potential for creation, for art, for success, for, whatever it is that you do, that you feel is your thing, And I think in order to get into that mode again, we have to get past this water energy. It's kind of some dark water energy right here, to be honest with you, okay? And we have the Art or Temperance card here, which is, to me, showing the way that this fire energy, see, we had, if you look at the overhead, we had the fire with this Strength or Lust card. We have fire blending with water with the Art card, and we've got the Water card over here. So this art, the real art, or what is really being produced here, remember with the Empress, the energies come together. The Empress is what is produced from that union, okay? So this is the union, and you can see the cards kind of about mixing fire and water. Actually, the figure has fire in this hand and water in this hand. So by the mixing of this lust or strength energy, which we'll talk about, and the mixing of this water energy, that's how we are able to really produce the Empress, this art, this love, this joy, this beauty, this success, this forward motion, this up and out kind of movement, okay? So it's not really about us burning up all of this water, all of this negativity. We should talk about the water before we get too far into this mixture, because it's not about rejecting it. It's not about rejecting the water. It is about learning to use it for our benefit, right? We've got the 7 and the 8 of Cups. Now we can take these in turn or both together. This is real negativity. This is real melancholy, depression. This is kind of living in an illusion. This is some real emotional turmoil. There is an active component to it with the 7. We're doing things. Some of our habits or behaviors are reinforcing the state, the 8 of Cups. This is the state of being that we're in. Kind of reinforcing this state of a loss of heart, maybe a loss of hope, pessimism, maybe depression, melancholy. So through our act, we're kind of reinforcing this state of being right now through these, I don't want to call them negative behaviors, but by these overindulgent behaviors, right? The 7 of Cups, these are the activities that we turn to when we're not feeling all that well, right? Emotionally, mentally. When we're in kind of a bad spot, we turn to these things. And they may help us out temporarily, but it reinforces the cycle of us not feeling very well, right? So I think it's, when you're depressed, you have a tendency to do things, habits, behaviors that may feel good in the moment, but really they reinforce that state of depression. So it's just kind of it's a continuous cycle there, right? Vicious cycle. And this is what Spirit is pushing us up and out of, first of all. But this is also something that we don't need to just reject about ourselves. Now, I don't know what you're indulging in. I don't know what exactly the 7 of Cups is for you. This could just be, a kind of daydream or fantasy life that we live in, because we're trying to ignore that nagging 8 of Cups, right? This feeling that just something's off with us. We don't have the interest or the love or the heart in things like we used to. So we turn to other things to distract us. I mean, this could be stuff on the internet, or it could just be, TV, or various things, Could be eating, drinking, whatever. Right? We don't need to get into specifics. We all have our own. Right? We all have our own. I was going to call them vices, but I don't think they're vices, really. I think we almost think that they are tools, but they're tools that are kind of keeping us locked in this Eight of Cups, right? They're tools that are kind of turning against us. There's nothing wrong with those things in and of themselves. But when they're keeping us under this water, then they become a problem, right? Except for YouTube. YouTube is never a problem. It's always a good thing to learn something on YouTube and to watch a channel, especially this channel. Anyway, I joke. I kid. We need to allow Spirit to push us up and out of this energy, but at the same time, we don't want to negate this energy. We don't want to ignore or reject this energy. Okay, and that's what I'm talking about with this Art or Temperance card. Because it would be rather, it would make sense, be logical. We reject those things because those things are what are kind of keeping us in this Eight of Cups, and we don't want to be in this situation. So we're just going to go the complete opposite extreme and reject all of that water energy. All of that water energy, we're going to deny it, right? But that is missing half of this Art or Temperance card, right? Then we're just kind of going to the other extreme, and almost a form of asceticism or something, where we're just denying ourselves any level of comfort at all, right? Any consolation at all, which again, in and of themselves, these energies aren't bad energies. It's just reinforcing this state that we don't really want to be in, right? So there's nothing wrong with those energies. There's nothing wrong with these, whatever these habits and behaviors and activities are, whether they're physical or mental or emotional or, energetic, spiritual habits or behavior, whatever it is. Absolutely nothing wrong with those things, except the part that's, wrong, air quotes, is just in our utilization of those things. We're using them in the wrong way, and they're keeping us here in an Eight of Cups mode. So what we need to do is integrate these things, incorporate these, accept these things in our lives, and of course learn a little bit of moderation. Learn that they are a part of who we are. They're an expression of what's going on psychically. Anything that we do outwardly, right? Especially what we might do rather unconsciously as a reaction, as a habit, something that we're not consciously thinking of at the time, is very much an outward expression of our psychic state. Okay, so we don't want to reject this, because then in fact we're rejecting our psychic state, whatever it might be, good or bad, right? Air quotes. So we learn to accept this and integrate all of this energy in us. And that, I think, is leading you to this real productivity, this artistic expression with this Empress energy. Now, behind everything, we do have this fire energy. This is the Lust or Strength card, the 11th mystery of the tarot. This card is about, it's about control. It's about this ability to harness your creative energy, your passion, your fire, right? Your creative fire, your aggression, right? Your anger, even. That intensity, right? That where everything is just flexed and you're clenching your fists and you're clenching your jaw, and it's just like almost a rage, right? But we're controlling that. We're channeling that as well into this Art Empress combination. So we're not rejecting anything. We may feel this kind of rage and resistance against the water, right? But then we're just going to have fire and water fighting. And yeah, I think the major arcana, this card's going to win out. It's a major arcana card. So one of these going up against two of these, well, maybe it'll be pretty evenly matched, right? Maybe we'll just be getting angry at ourselves and we'll just go back to this. We're angry at this. We stay in this and we get even more angry and upset. And this kind of our force and fire is not controlled. It's just going back and forth. It's a war that no one can win. So we need to exercise the control over this fire energy so that we can make the good choices, right? Make the productive, positive, proactive choices. And this is part of that force and fire that's pushing you up and beyond this water energy. You know, we're not leaving the water energy behind necessarily, but we are trying to kind of get past this blockage, right? We're trying to break the surface of the water and get out into the open air, right? Get out into the sunlight and move on with our life. Start doing what we want to do. Catch the fire for our passions, our interests, our loves, our enthusiasm again, right? So we need that healing. So if there's a way to turn this kind of water into that really wonderful healing water, I think it's through this art card, through the embracing of our fire, using our fire to accept the water. The real strength comes not from being able to resist something, but by being able to accept it and embrace it and love that part of ourselves, forgive ourselves for it, you know, and realize that it's just an expression of our psychic state. And therefore it is us in a certain sense. Now, down beneath everything, we've got this High Priestess. This is Spirit really trying to let you know that, hey, you're doing the right thing, you're on the right track, this is all going to work out, this is going to be okay. The Priestess has their arms open like this. This figure is not waiting to receive anything from you. This is an attitude, a gesture of support. Right? She is holding you up. And this is Spirit basically saying, hey, I got you. Right? And this could be what you need to rely on, is your connection with Spirit, whether you're a spiritual person, a religious person, or not. And this could be through that interaction with nature. This is you knowing how to create this Empress energy. Right? What kind of pets, plants, people do you need to interact with or be around? Again, it's not about the intellectual. It's not about talking. I know I'm doing a lot of it. It's about the energy and the vibe in whatever environment is going to be the most conducive to healing for you. And this Priestess is there to say, hey, Spirit's got you. But you have to listen so that you can follow that message, follow that light, follow that instinct or that intuition to put yourself in the right environment for healing. Okay? Very important that we listen to the High Priestess, you know. Okay, so we move to the path of the serpent. We have this Chariot energy. This is some Cancer energy, some water energy. This is us, you know, we're not leaving the battlefield and going home and hanging up our armor. We've got our armor on. And what the armor does is protect us from this water energy really penetrating us down to our loincloth, right? The armor protects us from the elements outside. Right? And so does the chariot itself, the canopy and the big strong wheels, and it's a very sturdy ride. And this is a way for you to continue moving forward in your life, to get kind of up and move across, move diagonally through this water energy. You need a vehicle, you need a vessel. And you need to be protected enough so that you can take this journey and not get just soaked to the core with that water energy. Right? It could just dissolve you completely and you could lose yourself, right? I mean, this is speaking in metaphors here, but you get the idea. We could get lost in this. So we need some sort of protection. We need some armor, right? And I think the armor is forged in the furnace of this Temperance card, right? Because we're tempering the metal. We're forging. This is kind of the blacksmith card in the armory or the foundry or wherever those places are. I don't really know. So that it is through this fire and this water, blending this together in this furnace, in this foundry, with that blacksmith, that we're creating the armor that will allow us to go up and out of this swamp without catching a cold, right? Or without getting completely dissolved and losing ourselves. So this Cancer energy is very, very important. This Chariot energy is very, very important. These are the practical things that you need to do in order to really protect yourself and to be prepared for this journey out of the water, right? We can say all day that, oh, Spirit's going to push you up and out of it. Okay, that's fine, but that still needs that magical link. It's still that impulse from Spirit, that energy from Spirit still needs a way to connect with the physical world, right? And that is through your efforts, your psyche, your psychic state, your will, your fire, your water, your chariot. Okay? So Spirit is informing and influencing all of these aspects of you, but it's still something that we have to put in motion, right? We still have to, use that energy and initiate the activity too. All right. So the next thing we have is the environment. 4 of Cups, generally an okay card. Generally, this card is just kind of, we're in a resting emotional state. With this card, I like to use the nautical metaphors, and say that we're on our ship, we're anchored in a little cove, things are okay. There's no parties on the boat. The boat's not sinking, there are no holes in the boat. So we're stable, we're steady. There's nothing exciting going on. The storms are all out there in the open waters. We're here in a nice protected cove. We're anchored here. But we're not moving, we're not going anywhere, and we're not doing anything. This is just kind of a stable spot for us to be right now. This, to me, kind of feels like a state of recovery. This is the healing taking place. This is someone who is at home resting up, kind of thing. We're in this temporary sabbatical. That's kind of been a common word lately here. We've been on this sabbatical, and we've just been resting, rehabilitating, restoring ourselves. Okay? So that's the environment. This is in the position of your environment. Your environment has to be one that's going to be conducive to your healing and your rehabilitation, whatever you want to call it, whatever exactly your needs are. It has to be, that environment has to do that for you. It has to be the best match, And that, again, is how we're going to get this Empress energy really strong in our lives. We talked about this air energy, so we can probably wrap up the reading. This is the Prince of Swords. This might be a particular person that we just don't want to see, that maybe it just kind of makes things worse. We don't want to talk about it. We don't want to have that discussion with them. We don't want to debate. We don't want to fight. We don't want to explain. We don't want to be lectured, right? That's that person. It may be one particular person that you're thinking of now, like, oh yeah, I know that person. I don't want to talk to them right now. Final card is the 7 of Swords, and again, this is just kind of, any attempts for people to lecture you or explain to you, it's not really going to get through. This has to be something that comes from you, comes from Spirit, comes through your own activities, your own psychic state, your own awareness, your own Empress, your own major arcana, archetypes. It's not something that anyone, myself, your friends, family, no one can convince you of this or to lecture you into doing something. That's not the way to get through to you here. All right. Let's look at the mystery card. Thank you, Mr. Frog. Mr. or Mrs. Frog. I don't know. Maybe another Empress energy. I think that would be nice. Maybe something showing, the results of all of this, your creative activities after all of this is activated, what are you going to be doing? What is the future holding for you? Let's find out. Nine of Cups, tremendous happiness. The pursuit of happiness. Yeah, you're recovering, healing, rehabilitating right now. You're in this resting state. But when all of this energy finally, really starts moving, you're on your way to real bliss, real happiness. This is the Nine of Cups. This is the pursuit of happiness. This is you out there on the open ocean, sailing toward your future, having a great time sailing. You love sailing. This is the best feeling ever you could have. It's a movement, right? This isn't the state of, I'm in a happy place now. Well, yeah, you might be, but this is you out there in the world, acting out your best life, right? Living it. It's an active energy. It's a 9, right? And it's also, 9s are also foundational cards. So this is a baseline of attitude for you. A baseline of, I'm going to do what is going to make me the healthiest, happiest, most productive, joyful person that I can be. This is your pursuit. This is a very lovely card. This is better than any other confirmation card we could ask for. This is perfect. Absolutely perfect. And I'm so happy. No pun intended. I'm happy that you have decided to watch this video. I want to thank you so much. Please hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment, share the video. Thank you for taking this journey with me. We're going to do an extended too, and if you want to watch it, just click up here. Thank you for being the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot.